Favorite noise producer, Nuki Noise Wall, and today on this little fucking channel of mine, we're going to be doing an underground labels tier list. Because I saw another tier list going around and it was awful. Because, like, every fucking important label was missing from it. And that was kinda lame. So I thought I'd do my own one with, actually including all the labels in it that matter and other ones that don't, but I'm going to include them anyway because, it's the underground and we want to represent the underground and talk about it. I'm not very good at unscripted videos, so I'm sorry if I ramble a lot. Usually I script everything that I do. Anyway, so, yeah, I know I have a lot of beef with some of these fucking labels. That's not gonna be factored in here. This is purely about like the professionalism behind the labels and like the quality of the stuff they put out and the branding and a bunch of other shit. So yeah, and yeah, I've included Endogenic, which is my label, on here as well, because why not? I'll talk about what I think about my own label too. If that means I'm sucking my own dick or whatever, then I guess I'm sucking my own dick. So yeah, whatever. Anyway, so first we have Endogenic Noise Records, which is my label. So, it's the best label. Goes right at the top. Nah, I'm joking. I'd say we're a B tier label. Like, we're not the best fucking label ever. We've had a few missteps, and a lot of our stuff is okay. Some of it's really good. We're a digital only label. We don't really do any physicals or anything like that at the moment. But I think for our first year we've done really well. We've got over 80 releases. We've got a bunch of compilations. We've got more stuff coming out. The output's been pretty good, and a lot of people like to say that we are shit and that we're a bunch of wankers or whatever. I don't agree with that. I think that we do a lot of good stuff. I think that we have one of the most varied catalogues in the underground, and all the artists who work with us are super talented and really fucking good at what they do. So, I'm gonna put us in B tier rather than E tier, because we don't deserve to be that low. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say about us. Go fucking check out our shit. We're pretty cool, I guess. Okay. Next we have No Sleep for Bedtime, which is an Australian label that focuses mostly on underground hardcore and Shran's music. They're fucking awesome. They're going in A tier. They're fucking cool. They're great. They're a great label. Really good, like dark hardcore kind of stuff. Super underrated label too. Not a lot of people talk about them or what they do. They're really fucking good. Go check them out. They're awesome. Next we have, oh boy, we have Delta Vega. They don't like me very much, which is fine. I personally are going to put them in D tier. They're all right. Like, they have a pretty varied catalogue. Like, they do mostly vaporwave and breakcore. Recently, they've been focusing more on breakcore, which is a bit of a shame because we have a million fucking breakcore labels already. Like, they used to be a lot more unique in their earlier days. Now it's just more fucking break music. And, like, all my issues with the fucking artists on the label and the owner of the label aside, I don't really care for a lot of their catalogue. It's not my thing, personally. That's just me. But, it is what it is. Next we have Yuri Society, which is run by my friend Lord Cernanos, and it's going in A tier. Yuri Society is a great label. I've worked with them a couple of times now. Super professional, really easy to work with, really varied catalogue, run by one of the most awesome and most chill dudes in the entire underground scene. Just a fucking great label, like really good fucking label. I love everything they do. And they're releasing their 100th release pretty soon, which I'm going to be on, so that's pretty cool. yeah, I love Yuri Society. Great label. Go check them out on Archive. Next we have Sua Digital Records. They're going in the A tier as well. Fantastic label. Really good Swedish underground hardcore label. Most of this, they focus on hardcore, trance, uplifting trance, euphoric hardstyle, basically all forms of kind of hardcore music. They're really fucking good. Everything they do, I usually really enjoy for the most part. I've got a bunch of veterans on the label too who've been doing this for a very long time, along with a bunch of newcomers as well. They're a very fucking varied and awesome label. I particularly love the stuff from Razor Edge and Merritt K on the label. That's some of my favourite stuff that they do. Overall, just really solid hardcore label. Really love them. Next we have Omoid label. They're going in S tier. Japanese label, super varied, like one of the biggest catalogues of underground music you can find. They do fucking every genre from like J-pop to fucking vaporwave to breakcore. They do fucking everything, and they're a fantastic label. I love everything they put out. Absolutely great label. Wonderful. And run by one of the most chill people in the community. Really cool label. Definitely check them out. Next we have Shitwank Records, which is a Passenger of Shit's label. I'm going to put them in C tier. I like how dark and abrasive all the stuff is and how fucking over the top and edgy it is. It's my kind of shit. But, like, I'm not a fan of, like, limited run physical releases of stuff, and sadly a lot of the physicals they do are limited run. And in general, like, it's a great label and the stuff they put out's great, but there's not a lot of variety. Like, it is all kind of the same stuff, which is the same stuff is good same stuff, but it's the same stuff. And when I go to a label, I like the stuff to be varied and different. But it is a good label overall. So yeah, it gets the C tier. Oh boy. Next we have Dream Catalogue, which I'm putting in D tier. I respect Dream Catalogue for all the fucking, they're a big label. They've achieved a lot. Like, they're a huge name. Everyone knows who Dream Catalogue is, for better or for worse. And they have contributed a lot to the underground. But I honestly don't think a lot of the stuff they do is really that impressive, if I'm being honest. Like, I like some of the stuff, but there's also a lot of stuff on there that I just don't give a shit about, and I just find really fucking boring, and it's just not... Maybe it's because I'm not really that into vaporwave stuff. I think a lot of it blends together and sounds the same and is kind of boring, but yeah, sorry. I know it's probably going to annoy people, but I don't really fucking care about Dream Catalogue outside of a handful of releases. Okay. Next we have Cindery Violence, which is going in S tier. Cindery Violence is the most important fucking breakcore and lollycore label in the fucking community. They're huge. They've got over 1,000 releases. They've been around since fucking forever. And for some reason, people keep excluding them on all of these tier lists, so I'm putting them on this one. Because how the fuck do you make an underground community label tier list and not include Cindery fucking Violence? So yeah, they're on this list. They're S tier. They are one of the best fucking labels in the entire community. They are so consistent. Everything they do is... not everything, but a lot of the stuff they do is really fucking good. Especially recently. Their recent output has been absolutely fantastic. Especially their compilations. And they're run by Himiko, who is like just a super chill and awesome dude. And he's really funny and he's just a cool guy. And I don't know how anyone could not like Cindery Violence, or at least respect what they do. They're a great label, and they deserve all the respect and all the props for everything they do. You should definitely check out their most recent releases, especially their 10 years compilation, which is a massive compilation of over 50 tracks of pure fucking awesomeness. It's great. They're a great label, and they deserve every single ounce of praise I could ever give them. So yeah, definitely check them out. Next we have Cum Jar Records. Sorry. They're just a fucking... They're funny, and they're like a meme label, and it's funny. That's about it, really. My friend Stranded did a release with them, and like, yeah, it was awesome. And then everything else is just like a bunch of meme shit, which is kind of funny, but I can't really rank it all that well because it's just fucking meme shit. But it's funny, and the whole Cum-chan mascot thing is also really funny. So yeah, it goes in E tier. Sorry. Um, Next we have Mad Breaks, A tier. Mad Breaks is a great breakcore label. They don't release too often, but when they do, it's fucking great for the most part. Their physicals are all really good quality too. Their merch is great. Their marketing's great. Their brand's great. Everything they put out is pretty much a banger. They've got a bunch of great artists there. Yeah, I really like Mad Breaks and what they do. They're great. Definitely check them out if you haven't already, but I'm sure you have. Then we have LMNL Records, which I'm gonna put in C tier. They're kind of, I think they're kind of a new label. They don't really have an awful lot in their catalogue right now. And I'm not saying their catalogue's bad as such, because it's not, but it's not super varied at the moment, and it could use a bit more variety. The stuff they have is good, even if the artists that I'm discussing on this label don't particularly like me, and I don't particularly like them. I can't deny the quality of the music itself is good, but they need more artists basically. But I understand that when a label is just starting out, that they you know, it takes time. So yeah, I'll be keeping an eye on them and what they do though, for sure. They're a good label, I guess. Next we have fucking hell. I didn't even know how to. U plus 26E7. That is like the worst fucking name for a label imaginable, and they're going in F tier for various fucking reasons. First of all, their the quality of the releases is just not good. Like I don't really like anything they've put out. I think their branding is terrible. I think their name is awful. Like, what the fuck is... I know it's fucking... It's like ASCII code or whatever, hex code for fucking, like, a pentagram or some shit. It's just fucking dumb. The logo looks like shit. The music on the label isn't very good. Most of the artists aren't my thing. And I know people who've bought physicals from them and have told me that the physicals are very poor quality. Like the plastic casing is shit. The fucking J card is like a fucking low res JPEG and looks like shit. You know, and great, you're doing physicals. That's cool. Good for you. My label's not doing physicals, and a lot of labels aren't. But if you're gonna do physicals, they should probably be good quality, especially if people are buying them. And if it's not good quality, then you shouldn't be selling them, in my opinion. You shouldn't be charging money for stuff that is subpar. And, the label isn't exactly ran by a professional, let's put it that way. I am not a fan of the person who owns this label. And that's fine, That doesn't really influence my rankings, I guess, but at the same time, when you run a label and you act unprofessionally, like, one of my friends used to be on this label and they got kicked out for the most fucking stupid reason. So, you shouldn't be kicking artists off your label over shit that has nothing to do with music, in my opinion. Unless they're like, a really shitty person or something. So yeah, that's a shame. I don't like this label at all, personally. But it is what it is. Next we have Abstract Trauma Recordings, which is run by Gold Noise. I'm gonna put that in D tier. It's an okay noise label. It's fine. It's all right. There's not a lot of variety. there. There's not too many different artists on it. It's a noise label. It's alright. Some of the stuff's good, I guess. But I don't really care for a lot of it either. Then we have Vaporscape Records, which is going right next to Endogenic and B tier. Vaporscape is run by my friend Sad Unicorn. I've had a release on it before, which was cool. Really nice of them to put out my music and shit. In general, Vaporscape's a great fucking little label. They do vaporwave, breakcore, noise, a bunch of other stuff as well. They're super great. Their marketing's great. They're run by a good guy. All the releases are pretty solid. They've had a few good compilations. I highly recommend their recent compilation they put out with there's a bunch of talented artists on there, like kind of ambient break sort of stuff. Check out my release on there if you want. It's probably my most cinematic release. They really liked it for some reason. I don't think my music's that good. I don't even think it's fucking music, to be honest. But, if you want to fucking, check it out, I guess. Just everything they do is great. Especially that compilation they just put out. I think it's really cool. Yeah. So yeah, Vaporscape. Good label. Next we have Fujimi Industry Records, which is run by Koakira. A tier. Really good Japanese label. Focuses mostly on breakcore, extra tone, hardcore. Really good label. All their stuff's great. Every time a Fujimi Industry release comes out, I absolutely love it. I love everything they do. They're great, fantastic. Definitely check them out. Their recent catalogue, the last couple of years especially, has been solid. Really good label. Next we have Caliber. I think it's Caliber, but I always read it as Caliber for some reason. They're going in C tier. Caliber is pretty good. Caliber. I don't fucking know how to say it. Fucking. Anyway, yeah, they're a good label for the most part. They do some cool stuff. They haven't released anything since February this year. I don't know if they're on hiatus or if they're on if they're fucking shut down or whatever. But they were doing some cool stuff. They were doing like trance and breakcore and mostly kind of electronic stuff, pop stuff, a whole bunch of different things. They're a good label. I enjoy what they do. Definitely go back and check out their back catalogue. There's some interesting stuff in there, for sure. Next we have Doomcore Records, which is going in S tier. Doomcore Records is as you would expect, a Doomcore label run by Low Entropy. Low Entropy has been doing this shit since like the 90s. He's a hardcore, doomcore, breakcore producer who's been around for a very long time. He's a veteran, he knows what he's doing, he knows how to run shit. He's a fucking pioneer in all of the scenes he's a part of. And he's one of the founding fathers of doomcore, basically, which is basically really fucking slow, hardcore music with like a dark ambient twist. The beat per minute goes down to like fucking like 10 BPM. It's fucking insane. Like the stuff's really slow and sludgy and hard hitting. They've been around since I want to say 2011. I can't remember how long it's been now. It's been a long fucking time. They've got a whole bunch of releases. Most of it's good. Most of it's sludgy and cavernous and awesome. They're still going as well. Like, they're still putting out stuff all the fucking time from really prolific and really talented people. Low Entropy himself releases stuff on the label. You've got stuff from Der Cherub, Baser, R.I.P. Baser, Cement Tea, a whole bunch of fucking talented people release on this label all the time. They're great. And they've also got 2 sub-labels, which I'll be talking about later on in the list. But yeah, definitely check out Doomcore Records. They're one of the best fucking underground labels, and they've been around for a long time. They're run by a guy who knows how to do things, and they are, in general, just packed with quality releases. Really good stuff. Next we have Dark Impact Records, which is actually a sub-label of Hard Impact Records. They're going in B tier. Dark Impact Records are great. They put out a new album every month. It's usually dark side hardcore kind of stuff. Dark side hardcore, crossbreed, uh, basically just dark hardcore. They're really good stuff. Their releases are normally the only reason they're in B tier is their stuff is normally quite short. Like they only put out like 3 track EPs every month. But the stuff they put out is good. It's just I wish there was more of it, and I wish the releases were longer. But overall, really good stuff. Definitely check out all their stuff from 2022. Some awesome stuff. I absolutely love it, and I always look forward to listening to a new kind of dark side hardcore album every month. Next, we have Liquid Magic Records, which is going in B tier. This is a label run by my friend Temi, or who also runs the project Love Crush Number One. She's really she really knows what she's doing here. Like the branding here is fucking solid. Like she's really put a lot of time and effort into the brand behind Liquid Magic. They've already got a good few amount of signees that are all really talented. There's like Super Trash Can, fucking Death by Sound. Who else is there? There's someone else they signed recently. Oh yeah, Wavy Panda. All really good fucking stuff. They don't have a lot of releases yet, but everything they've put out so far is great, and I know what's coming down the line is also going to be great. I have a lot of faith in this label, and I think they're going to do some amazing stuff for the underground. And Temi's like one of the chillest people ever. She's fucking wonderful. She's a great friend of mine. She runs the Magic Cast with fucking Mithril, and it's a really cool podcast, and you should check it out. Check out everything that they do. It's great. Really good label. I'm looking forward to seeing what you have to offer in the future. Next, we have Mimi Records, which is going in C tier. Mimi Records is a pretty cool little label. They do like everything from like ambient to jazz to fucking. They do everything. They're all right. They're pretty cool. They haven't released anything in a while. They've been a bit short in releases recently, but they're good and they've got a big catalogue of stuff. But some of it's hit or miss. Some of it's really good. Some of it's kind of forgettable. But definitely a label you should check out in some degree, for sure. They've got a big catalogue of stuff to check out. Next we have Mobcore Chicago Records, which is going in C tier. They're like an industrial, breakcore, hardcore, crossbreed kind of label. They do like all that kind of stuff. They're good. Some of their stuff's a bit shit. Some of it's really good. They put out some stuff by my friend Cementi, which was cool. They've done some kind of they've done a lot of stuff. I really like their like more industrial kind of like hardcore stuff as opposed to their breakcore stuff. But yeah, they're cool. Check them out. Then we have Slowcore Records, which is a sub-label of Doomcore Records, and they're going in A tier. Now, Slowcore, the name's a bit contentious. Slowcore is not this isn't like the genre of like rock music. Slowcore, you know, with guitars and shit, like the fucking bands that play slowcore or whatever. This is like electronic slowcore, which is basically doomcore, but even slower and even sludgier, where songs can go down to like 1 BPM. That's how slow it gets. Some people have told me this is a made up genre that doesn't exist. I think that's bullshit. I think lots of genres that people say don't exist, and slowcore is one of them. Yeah. This was a genre pioneered by Low Entropy himself. He's a very big pusher of the slowcore movement. And yeah, this is some of the darkest, sludgiest, cavernous, evil sounding music you'll ever fucking hear. It's not something you're gonna like fucking go up and dance to. It's not something you're gonna be like listening to and be like, fuck yeah, this is like high energy, cool shit. But it's like something if you're in the mood for something like really atmospheric and dark and sludgy and slow, that you'll check it out. They've released a bunch of stuff this year. They're really good. I love everything that they've put out so far. I think they've got about 15 or 16 releases at the moment. They've got a few compilations as well, like the slowcore compilations. They're all really good. Definitely check it out. My favorite fucking song that they've done is a song called "How Do You Dance to Slowcore" by Low Entropy, or as he called himself, Slow Entropy for this release. But yeah, um, check out Slowcore Records. You can just find their stuff on the Doomcore Records Bandcamp. It's all merged together. So yeah, that's cool, I guess. Yeah, check them out. Next we have Vomit Gore Records, E tier. I used to be on Vomit Gore Records. I was kicked off Vomit Gore Records for the most stupid fucking reason, and that has nothing to do with my placement. I just think that they don't really know what they're doing a lot of the time, which is, I mean, it's fine. Like, not everyone's gonna be a fucking professional. But when I worked with them, they didn't know what they were doing. They didn't even check the fucking releases that I sent them. They just put them on Bandcamp without even bothering to fucking quality check them or anything. Because I sent a track that had a mistake in it by accident, and they just fucking uploaded it. And it was a clear mistake. It was like half the track was basically a 5 second track because I rendered it wrong, and I didn't notice because I was a fucking idiot and I was just starting out as a musician at the time. And then I sent them it, and then either they didn't check it or they thought I purposefully made a 5 second track of like almost dead air. I don't know what the fuck happened there, but to me it just screams they don't check anything and they just fucking put anything up without even bothering to check what it sounds like, or they at least skim it or something maybe. But yeah, that wasn't the best experience and I was a bit annoyed by it, but I never complained about it. But I'm complaining about it now because I'm doing a tier list of underground labels and I'm talking about what they do good and what they don't do good. um I don't really know what they're doing now. I don't care because I don't really want to associate with them anymore after how they treated me. But in terms of their stuff, some of it's all right, some of it's good, some of it's boring. Uh, yeah, it's not the best label, to be honest. Yeah, I don't really like them that much anymore, which is a shame. They could have been something great. Their first few releases were really good, and now they've just really fallen off. And yeah, I don't really care. It's a shame. Next we have Noise J, which is going in S tier. Noise J is a fantastic label. They've been doing this for a very long time. They have a very varied catalogue of stuff, ranging from breakcore to industrial hardcore to crossbreed. I especially love their crossbreed stuff. Check out anything that's been done by Autist. Autist is a fucking great producer. Um, Same with Razor Edge and my friend Cement. He's done a few Dark Step and Crossbreed albums on there as well. Yeah, they're fantastic. I eagerly await everything they do. Their branding's great. They know exactly what they're doing. They've got a few sub labels, which I actually haven't included on here because I just fucking remembered there that they exist. But check out their sub labels as well. I can't even fucking remember their name. Like Dream something. I don't fucking remember. Ignore me, I'm fucking rambling. But yeah, Noise J, fucking great label. They'll be in the description. Check them out. Next we have Hard Impact Records, which is going in C tier. Uh, they're they're the main label that owns Dark Impact Records. I don't think it's as interesting as Dark Impact. They're just more of a kind of general hardcore label, which is fine. I like hardcore stuff. I like gabber stuff. I like, hardcore techno. Basically, that's what it is. It's a hardcore techno label. Their stuff's good, but it doesn't really stand out either, like compared to Dark Impact Records, for example. But they do have bangers, and a lot of it is good. But it's just it's just hardcore, man. They could do more with that, and they do on Dark Impact, which you should check out over them. But yeah, Hard Impact's a good label overall. They're pretty cool. Next we have Full Metal Records, which is where's it going? C tier. Yeah, I think they're good. They're not the best label. They're not the worst label. They're good. They're good. They do some good stuff. They've put out some cool stuff. Another label run by someone who doesn't particularly like me, but it is what it is. I have respect for what their label does and what they do. So, props to you. Your stuff's good. Um, they're on hiatus right now, I think, which is a bit of a shame. I hope they come back next year so I can check out more of their stuff because despite beefs I have with people, I still listen to all of these labels and everything they put out because I care about the underground scene and I care about what's happening and what's coming out. I separate art from artist. So yeah. So check out Full Metal Records. They're pretty cool. Next we have Church of the Noisy Goat, which is going in B tier. They're a great label. Mostly an experimental, dark ambient and noise label, but they seem to take just about anything. They're good. They have a fucking ridiculous amount of stuff though. Like literally like hundreds, probably like thousands at this point. I think I don't know. I haven't listened to all of it because their catalog is just so fucking big. It's ridiculous. They seem to have a new release almost every fucking week at this point. At one point, they were releasing stuff every couple of days. But yeah, they're a great label. They have stuff from like veterans in the scene. They've got a few dark ambient producers who've been doing this for fucking years. They're great. My only gripe is they have so much stuff that getting through all of it is a bit of a task. But definitely check them out. Church of the Noisy Goat. They're really good, and there's a lot of stuff to fucking get lost in there. So if you ever have a lot of free time and you want to find a bunch of new music, yeah, check it out. Good label. Okay, next we have Omnicore Records, which is owned by Low Entropy, and it's another sub-label of Doomcore Records. It's going in C tier. It's basically a catch-all label, so if you want to submit something to one of Low Entropy's labels that isn't Doomcore and isn't Slowcore, you put it on this label. That's a good thing and a bad thing. Some of the stuff is like really cool, some of it's really generic and I don't care much for it. But they are, I'll give them that. They're a varied label, They've got a lot of kind of hardcore, like old school hardcore kind of stuff. So yeah, that's cool. And like they're good. They're just, they accept pretty much anything, which I don't always think is a good thing, but um yeah, definitely check them out. They're cool, and it's interesting to see what kind of stuff they put out for sure. Okay, this is an obvious one. This is Lost Frog, and it is going in S tier. If I could, I would put Lost Frog in their own tier separate from everyone else because Lost Frog is my favourite net label, my favourite music label of all time. I absolutely love everything they do. They are the best label in the entire community, in my opinion. Everything they do is amazing. They've been here since 1992. They're the oldest and I think biggest Japanese net label. They're run by a very good friend of mine, Haro Ishihara. I love Haro's stuff. I love everything he's done. He's done so much for the underground. He's contributed so much to the underground. He's been here longer than most of us, and he deserves every fucking ounce of respect for that. A lot of people have said bad things about Lost Frog because he's an old guy and he's from Japan and he puts out stuff like Lollycore and all that stuff. Fuck those people. Those people have no respect. Lost Frog is a fucking he's like one of the biggest cornerstones of the underground, and this label is phenomenal. And everything they put out is great. It's quality checked. The branding is spot on. the quality of the stuff is great, and he doesn't just take any old shite. Like, he doesn't even take submissions. You have to fucking, he fucking comes to you and goes, I want you to make a release for me. That's the level of quality we're talking about here. You can't, he doesn't just take shite, you know, like Lost Frog scours the internet looking for the most obscure and strange and underground stuff you can imagine to put out on his label. And he's been doing it since 1992. That's 30 fucking years. And he's not going anywhere anytime soon. Like, the output this year alone has been some of the best. And next year, from what I gather, is going to be just as interesting. Obviously, he's been focusing more on Brickcore, Lollycore, Tinycore, Mashcore, basically all the cores. But you know, the back catalogue is more than that. It's experimental stuff. There's 5 Star Men's Gomba Reject War Japan compilation, which is some of the best experimental music ever produced, ever, from like the 1990s. Like, that alone puts Lost Frog in S tier. That is one of the best fucking albums ever made. If you haven't listened to 5 Star Men, you should. It's some of the best experimental music ever. And if you love experimental underground music and you haven't listened to 5 Star Men, you owe it to yourself to do that right now. Go do it now. Pause the video and go listen to 5 Star Men. But yeah, they've got a bunch of other shit as well. They've got fucking dark step, skull step, fucking dark ambient music. They've got stuff from like Yukino Miyazawa, who's a master of mashup music and mashcore. They have so much talent on this label, and I've seen so many people just boil it down to they just do breakcore and lollycore. No, Lost Frog is one of the greatest labels, in my opinion, the greatest label in the community, with one of the best catalogues ever, and it's a catalogue that is curated really well, and it is the inspiration for my label and what we do. So yeah, good job, Haro. You keep doing what you're doing. Don't let anyone ever tell you how to do things, because you're the one person who's doing it better than everyone else. You're the best, and so is your label. And I look forward to next year. Anyway, now that I'm done jerking off Lost Frog, we have Dismiss Yourself, which I'm putting in D tier. That's probably going to be controversial. I don't care. I think Dismiss Yourself is one of the most okay labels ever. I do not understand why they're ranked so highly, why they're loved so much. I'm not saying they're bad, but I think they are insanely overrated, and I think that they could... I don't know, I just don't really understand the hype behind everything they do. They're good, they're alright. That's it, really. Yeah, they're a breakcore mashup label. Yeah, cool. Well done. To me, it's just another breakcore label. I don't see what makes them stand out from all the other labels. Their marketing is really good. Their fucking, their physicals or whatever, apparently, are really good. People really like them. I just think they're alright. And I'd put them in C tier, but because of how fucking universally praised they are and how much I don't agree with that, they're just going in D. I don't care if that's controversial or gets me shit or whatever. Yeah, D for Dismiss Yourself, I guess. Then we have Care, which is Dismiss Yourself sub-label, and it's going in C tier because it's actually better than Dismiss Yourself. Has a better catalogue, has a better variety of things. It's just much more interesting than what Dismiss Yourself does. And I would actually recommend checking Care out over Dismiss Yourself if you can, because they're just a better label, in my opinion. Which is funny, because no one talks about Care, but they all talk about Dismiss Yourself, but Care's better. Go listen to Care instead. Next we have Estetica Cybernetica. They're going in B tier. They are a neurofunk label mostly. They focus on, yeah, neurofunk, which is like a subgenre of drum and bass, like with the whole fucking wob wob shit. Yeah. um, Neurofunk music is my jam. I really like neurofunk stuff, so I really like Estetica Cybernetica. They put out my friend Cemente's stuff a few times as well, which is cool. That's how I found them actually, because his stuff was on there. They put Quadraxis's stuff. Definitely check out anything by Quadraxis on there. Quadraxis is a fucking neurofunk master. Really good stuff. Yeah, check them out. Then we have Ultra Gash Records. They're going in A tier. They're a super good Japanese, Brazilian experimental net label. Probably one of the most experimental labels in the scene, actually. They don't really have a set genre. Uh, I, I would say noise, but it's not really noise. It's more like music concrete and what the fuck do you call that genre again? Sound collage, yeah. It's like kind of sound collage stuff mostly, and music concrete, all that kind of stuff. Um, they're fucking great. They're really cool. I've spoke to the label owner a few times before I was doing music, and he was always super nice to me and like really, really professional. Like always offering to like send packages and stuff if I bought stuff, all that kind of stuff. They know how to treat their customers and very professional, top quality releases, very varied catalog, branding's excellent. They're doing it right. They're great, definitely. Um, in terms of stuff to check out I think it's Utoi Kimaru. I don't know how to pronounce that. My fucking I can't say words. But yeah, Utoi Kimaru, the stuff by them on there is really fucking good. Cementi, as always, anything Cementi does is awesome. Fucking Esquematatons, they're good too. Yeah, but basically, if it's on here, it's good. And it's experimental and it's weird and it's awesome. Definitely check it out. Next, we have Suicide Records. They're going in B tier. They're a Japanese depressive breakcore label, but funnily enough, a lot of their stuff isn't actually breakcore. Like they're labeled as a breakcore label, but a lot of it's more kind of glitch and noise and that kind of stuff. Mostly glitch, like kind of glitch music. I wouldn't say glitch core. I don't think glitch core is a real thing to begin with, but it's more like just glitchy music that just sounds like fucking glitchy Nintendo games and shit. And it's like really dissonant, really dark, depressive shit. All their aesthetics is all like really gloomy and dark and depressive. Like I mean, obviously it's called fucking Suicide Records. But yeah, they're fucking great. The guy who runs it, Shin Code, really really talented producer, really cool guy. He used to follow me before I got suspended my original account. Really really good guy, really cool label, one of the best. They're doing good. So yeah, check them out. Next we have Coffin Dance, which is run by Beachgrave. They're going in B tier as well. They're quite a new label. They don't have an awful lot of stuff at the moment, but the stuff they do have is really good. And yeah, I like what they do. Their recent compilation, which was for the trans rights compilation, really cool compilation for a good cause. Made a lot of money for the cause, which is awesome. A lot of talented artists on there, even if they don't like me. I really like a lot of the songs on there. Good stuff. And outside of the compilation, their releases in general were also really good. So yeah, definitely check out Coffin Dance. They're a good label, and they're definitely going to be a label to keep an eye on as time goes on, if they keep doing what they're doing. Next we have Kitty on Fire Records, which I'm putting in C tier. I don't really. They're all right. They're good. I'm not super familiar with their catalog, but what I've heard is good. It's not all really my thing, but they're good. They deserve respect for what they're doing. They're a good label. They're just not the best label, in my opinion. But they're good. Next we have Third Eye Records, which I'm going to put in A tier. Third Eye is run by Mithro, who is one of the most chill people I've ever fucking spoke to. Mithro is awesome, really really nice person, really professional. They know what they're doing. They've released a whole bunch of quality music on their label so far. All of it's pretty much all of it's good. Um, their branding's spot on. They did a charity stream recently, which was a really really good stream, really cool. Lots of variety, lots of talent, lots of for a good cause, all that kind of stuff. That stream was fucking great. Really, really popped off. Really good stuff. And just they know how to deal. They know how to handle things. Like and one thing I appreciate about Mithril and Third Eye, they don't give a shit about any underground beef. They don't care about fucking feuds between people. They just want to put out music, and they want to put out music, and they just want the community to just get on with it and just fucking make stuff. And that's the way it should be. And, I appreciate that they have been good to me and kind to me in spite of my status in this community. So, yeah, definitely check them out. They are a great label, and they are definitely one to watch. I would recommend checking out my friend Bradcore's release on there, which caused controversy for the most stupid fucking reasons, but you should check it out, and all the other stuff on there too. But definitely check out Bradcore because I'm biased and I have friends. Yeah. uh, Next we have Mallcat Records. C tier. Mostly because I'm not super familiar with them. I preferred them before they got big, because they used to be like a really small label, and they would put out, you know, small artists, and they put out my friend Temmie, Love Crush Number One, which was cool, and they put out some other stuff as well, which was also cool, and then they got big because they signed a big artist, and I feel like since then I've not been as interested. Maybe it's like some kind of weird elitism thing or something, but I just feel like they've been lacking recently compared to how they used to be. So they're going right in the middle because on one side they were like amazing, and nowadays I'm not really that interested. Um, like to the point where I couldn't even tell you what their most recent thing was. But you know, they're all right. They're a good label, I guess. Uh, Next we have Kinpatsu. B tier. Kinpatsu is a great label. The only downside to them is they don't release that often, and that's a shame because when they do release something, it's really good. They put out one of my favorite albums of last year, I believe it was, which was the fan service EP. That was really fucking cool. It combined all my favorite things in the world, which was anime, how anime girls, lollycore, breakcore, gabber, future bass, all in one. That's my shit. So yeah, I'm biased obviously, but yeah, and the person who runs it is like super chill and super cool. I don't have any, I really like them. So yeah, and I like what they do. I just wish there was more of it. If there was more of it, they'd be in like A tier, probably. But for what they've got at the moment, yeah, they're a good label, one of the better ones. And next we have Nekomata Records, which are going in A tier. Nekomata is primarily a lollycore and breakcore label run by DJ Izumi. Really good label. They've got a compilation coming out tomorrow, which you should all keep an eye out for. Really fucking awesome compilation. A few of my friends are on it. My friend Stranded's on it. My friend Mikakawa Girl's on it. Yeah, keep an eye out. That's going to be one of the best compilations of the year. It's going to be an awesome way to start off December. But in general, yeah, you should check out Nekomata Records. They're a great label, and they're run by one of the chillest and most awesome dudes in the whole scene. Really good label. And yeah, you know, cool. Next we have Geometric Lullaby. S tier because they dropped breakcore as a genre. No, I'm joking. B tier. Yeah, they're they're cool. Good label. Uh, they no longer accept breakcore as a genre, which is a bit of a meme and it's kind of funny. They have good reason to. I respect their reasoning, but I do think it's funny. So yeah, but their stuff's generally pretty good. They're probably one of the bigger labels on this list as well. Their physical releases are all great quality from what I've gathered. Um, they've got good variety. They've got a very good, a very well curated discography. But some of it's not to my taste either. But I have huge respect for them and what they do, and they run their shit professionally, and they accept some of only the best really. So yeah, props to them. Good on you, Geometry Lullaby, I guess. And finally, we have Focus on the, which I'm going to put in C tier. They're they're one of the labels that started off really small and has just kind of blown up crazy. I've been following them since the day they basically started up. Uh, they have me blocked. I don't know why. Uh, it's a bit of a shame, but outside of that, yeah, I mean they're a good label. They put out some good stuff. Uh, I'm a bit sad that their early stuff seems to have just been taken off the internet because I've been around since they first started, and I've been following them since they first started, and a lot of the original stuff's gone now, which is a shame. Probably because it's not as good as what they're doing now or whatever, but I'm not a fan of labels deleting their stuff, but that's a whole fucking side tangent. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they're a good label. They're all right. They're good. Not all of it's to my taste, and some of it's a bit but for the most part, yeah, they're good. They're a good label, and you should check them out for sure. I have a lot of respect for what they do. And yeah, there we go. That took me almost an hour to go through all those labels. Wow, an hour long tier list video. Huh. Sorry you had to listen to me talk for an hour. I'm not very good at speaking, so that must have really fucking hurt your fucking head. Listen to me talk. Anyway, yeah, so there you go. This is the definitive, objectively correct tier list for the underground music labels. If you disagree, you're wrong, and I do not like you, and you are a bad person. No, of course. I should have fucking started the video with this, but this is all just my fucking opinion. Like, I, I don't, I don't, I'm not saying this is a fucking definitive list or whatever. This is just what I think. Feel free to fucking do your own one or whatever. I'll include the list in the description. If you want to do one, share it on Twitter or whatever. Make fun of me. I don't know. If you want to leave a hate comment or something, you can do that too. I don't really care. I'll probably just delete it or something. Anyway, yeah, that was fun. What a way to spend my lunch break. Yay. Anyway, yeah, so all the labels mentioned here will be in the description if you want to check them out. Even the ones at the bottom. Because, I think everyone deserves a fair look. And, yeah, that's the video. Bye.